In the heart of an ancient forest, there lay a mystical place called the Whispering Woods. Legends spoke of this enchanted grove as a realm where thoughts were not just fleeting whispers of the mind, but seeds planted in the soil of reality, waiting to sprout into existence. The forest had a guardian, an ageless woman named Eldra, who was said to understand the mysteries of how the mind shapes the world. One afternoon, a young woman named Lira found herself lost in these woods. Overwhelmed by doubt and disillusioned with her life, Lira was in search of something she couldn't name, a sense of purpose and direction. She had faced countless failures, broken relationships, a career that never blossomed, and a deep sense of not belonging. She believed that the universe was conspiring against her, that fate was cruel and indifferent. But the Whispering Woods had called her for a reason. As Lira wandered, the forest seemed to hum with energy. Leaves fluttered not with the wind, but with an unseen force, and the air around her seemed to throb with life. Suddenly, she heard a voice. "You're not lost, you're being led," it said. Startled, Lira turned to see Eldra, her eyes shimmering like stars, standing beneath an ancient tree with bark so smooth it looked like glass. "Who are you?" Lira asked, instinctively feeling the presence of something beyond ordinary reality. "I am the keeper of the woods," Eldra replied, her voice as soft as wind but filled with ancient wisdom. "And you, dear one, are here to learn a truth that will change your life." Lira hesitated, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't know what I'm supposed to learn. Nothing seems to go right for me. Everything I try fails." Eldra smiled, a warm and knowing smile. "That is because you've been trying to manifest change from the outside in, not the inside out. What you do not yet understand is that everything happens first on the mental plane before it becomes physical. The life you seek, the love you long for, the success you desire, these are seeds that must be planted in the mind before they can grow in the world." Lira furrowed her brow. "What do you mean?" "I think about those things all the time, but nothing ever changes." "That's because you do not believe," Eldra said softly. "Your thoughts are scattered with doubt and fear, and so those are the energies that take root and grow in your life. You must first align your mind with belief. Believe in yourself no matter the circumstances." With a wave of her hand, Eldra motioned for Lira to sit by the base of the great tree. She knelt beside her and placed her hand on Lyra's heart. Immediately, Lira felt warmth radiate through her chest, like a golden light igniting deep within her. "Close your eyes," Eldra instructed, "and focus on what you truly desire. Not from a place of desperation, but from a place of knowing. Imagine that it has already happened. Picture it, feel it, experience it in your mind. See yourself as the person who has already received these gifts." Lira closed her eyes, her breath deepening. At first, her mind raced with scattered thoughts, fragments of worries and memories. But as she breathed, she began to center herself. She saw an image in her mind herself, standing tall, radiant, confident. She saw herself surrounded by people who loved her, doing work that filled her soul with joy and purpose. The vision was vivid, and for the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of peace. Eldra's voice guided her deeper into this mental landscape. "This is where your life begins here, in the mind. Every reality starts as a thought, and every thought carries energy. When you believe it fully, it begins to take form." As Lira held the image in her mind, something extraordinary happened. The forest around her began to shift, subtly at first, then more clearly. The colors grew brighter, the air felt lighter. The very ground beneath her seemed to pulse with life. She opened her eyes and looked around in wonder. "What's happening?" she asked, astonished. Eldra smiled. "Your thoughts are aligning with the truth of who you are. The world around you is beginning to reflect the belief you are cultivating within." Lira stood, feeling a newfound strength surging through her. For the first time, she understood what Eldra had been trying to teach her. The external world wasn't where her battles needed to be fought. They were fought and won on the mental plane. "If I keep believing, will everything change?" Lira asked. "Yes," Eldra said, her eyes sparkling with wisdom. "But remember, the path of manifestation requires patience, faith, and unwavering trust in yourself. The external world will catch up to the internal shift, but you must hold the vision no matter what the outside may appear to be." As Lira prepared to leave the whispering woods, she felt lighter than she had in years. The doubts that once weighed her down had lifted, replaced by a deep sense of certainty that her life was unfolding exactly as it should. "Thank you," she said to Eldra, her voice filled with gratitude. Eldra nodded, her form fading gently into the forest as she whispered one last piece of advice. "Never forget, dear one, everything happens on the mental plane before it manifests on the physical. So believe, always believe." With a heart full of renewed hope and a mind clear of doubt, Lira stepped back onto the path, knowing that her life was now aligned with the power of her thoughts and that the world would soon follow.